What if you're super turned on by someone, but they're not like really what you're looking for?
At the core of it, really, the baseline question is to ask yourself, would it betray my genuine integrity if I leaned into the physical over everything else that I know I'm looking for? How am I going to feel if I lean away from my integrity in this moment, despite knowing that there's at least one thing in this room that I know for certain, which is that I'm attracted to this person?
Mm.
What else are you ignoring and why? Every sensation has a different frequency and a different potency. And there are certain potencies that indicate that there is a rush you're seeking, like passion, or there is an intensity to it. What I have learned over time is that when we get an intense signal, it's actually a cue to slow down and understand where that intensity is coming from. So even though we are tempted to lean in and override because we're attracted to the person, the question is actually to start asking yourself, okay, the fact that there is this disproportionate high intensity frequency coming from my end, and I also, in the seed of my being, understand that this person is not in alignment with me, what is so alluring to me about leaning into the intensity? And are there other ways that I can explore that would keep me a little bit more safe if I know that this person doesn't match in other more important ways outside of sex or physical attraction? Then the question needs to be, okay, you don't have to sacrifice that intensity, you can still access it, but the cue is to really think of it in a way of, when intensity steps in the room, the best thing to do is to slow down and lean into the intensity internally, to ask yourself, okay, what else is here? Is it just attraction? Are there bits and pieces here that are adding up that leads to it? Right?
So, erotic charge in the context of looking at the psychological body, the somatic framework. When you're saying like learn how to honor your body's signals, what I think I'm hearing you say is erotic charge doesn't necessarily indicate holistic alignment with someone. Okay. Oh, the layers.
Layers.
So many. I feel like that could be a whole day in the group. Okay. You said learn how to stop doubting your intuition.
Hmm.
What are some examples of how that looks in dating?
So you kind of already offered up an example. You may feel a heightened erotic attraction to someone, but intuitively you're like, oh, something feels off here. And typically we are conditioned to question, but if you turn your attention towards yourself, you can start figuring out what that signal is implying